Everybody, Sasha here, and I'm going live on day 30 of 31. One more day to go. I was actually kind of upset with myself a couple of minutes ago. Okay, so maybe more than a couple of minutes ago, because I intended to go live about 30 minutes before this, but circumstances happened. I didn't meet that goal, and I was like getting so upset because I didn't meet that goal, and I was worried that would upset people, and so I wasn't going to do it. Now, thankfully, my topic today ties into the way that I was feeling, so I can use myself as an example. So today I want to talk about kicking the puppy. And I'm not talking about literally kicking a physical, little, adorable, cute, fluffy puppy. Don't kick cute, fluffy puppies. But that's kind of what I'm tying into. Because a lot of the times when we are trying to grow, change, improve, learn something new, we're not going to be successful that very first shot out of the gate. And for some people, not being successful the very first shot out of the gate can be very negative, can be very difficult for them, and it can make them feel like less and like they're not doing well enough. So I want to talk to you about kicking the puppy, because when you're trying to learn something new, your brain is just like a puppy, all right? I mean, whether or not you have a brain and you think that your brain should work a certain way, when you're trying to learn something new, especially something completely out of character, your brain is very, very much like a puppy. Without proper training, habits, reward systems, all that good stuff, your brain won't have the support system that it needs to be able to learn what you need it to learn. So when I'm trying to learn something new, I always like to think of my brain as a puppy, because let's face it, our brains cannot learn something instantaneously, not even me, even though I like to sometimes believe I'm a computer. I am not. So knowing that our brains cannot learn something like a computer instantly, just magically write it in there, we have to train our brains to do the things that we want them to do. You have to train your brain to respond to stimuli in a specific way. Train yourself to respond to an emotional input. So all of these things are you training your brain. Now, when I first started out doing dialectical behavioral therapy for my BPD, this is one of the concepts that really stuck for me and really, really helped me stop putting myself down when I wasn't doing something 100% perfect. So now that we've connected that our brain is a puppy, all right? So we're going to start thinking of our brain and training our brain as a puppy. So, of course, you're going to do all the same things. You're going to teach it something. You're going to rinse, repeat. Now, let's say you're potty training your brain, a.k.a. your brain puppy, a.k.a. your puppy. So now you're training your puppy to go piddle on a mat. Let's say the puppy does not piddle on the mat. Let's say the puppy piddles 4 feet from the mat. Do you drop kick the puppy? I really hope everybody out there said no just now, because no, you don't drop kick the puppy. You don't yell, you don't scream, you don't throw a temper tantrum, because they're babies, they're puppies, and they don't know any better. Your brain is the same way. These are things that it doesn't know. It's growing and developing just like a puppy. So punishing it for not learning something fast enough, or punishing it for not being able to exceed your expectations, is just like kicking a puppy. So the reason I tell you this is because, as I mentioned, when I was going through this and I heard this, for me, this was one of the biggest things that helped me stop beating myself up for not being successful at things. It ties in with the gratitude piece and with the acceptance of self. But at the end of the day, until I was able to stop criticizing myself for every little mistake that I made, I wasn't actually able to get better. Because rather than saying, oh, yeah, I wrote in my journal 5 days this week, I would fixate on that little thing. Just like, oh, look, the puppy had one accident, even though it didn't the rest of the week. So making this analogy allows me to be able to connect my brain and the way I train my brain to the way I would train a puppy. It also helps me empathize and feel for my poor little brain, which I am putting through the absolute ringer to try to learn something new. So guys, have you ever kicked your puppy? Be honest with me. And I don't mean your literal puppy. Of course, I mean your brain puppy. Have you kicked your brain puppy? Did it work? And what do you think that you could do differently in the future? One thing I recommend, we just did a post on not too long ago here, is positive reinforcement. Because let's face it, who doesn't want to work for something that they want? So anyways, guys, I think that's pretty good here for day 30, and I've been so thankful that you've all come along on the journey. I would love to hear from you. Drop something in the comments for me. Say hello, and I'm going to go figure out why my dogs are running around all kooky like. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.